Hey, this is Matt with Just Stick a Decals. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how to apply a large rim decal. Uh, our application for this is a little bit different than our standard rim decals. This is the K5 GT rims. So we use a little bit of our all-purpose cleaner that we offer on our website, along with our microfiber towel that's double-sided. I use the purple side to clean and then the more orange side to dry off. You want to make sure that the rim is good and clean, no dust or lint left behind. So with these decals, you'll actually have a few of them pre-taped for you, is using a more premium transfer tape that can be reused for the rest of the rims. So one sheet per rim, and you're going to use that transfer tape multiple times for each rim. So before I apply it, I'm taking my application card and running over the application tape over the decal itself, using some moderate pressure there. Then I'm going to flip the decal over, and I'm going to split the transfer tape from the back of the backing paper. I'm going to hold down the transfer tape and gently pull back at 180 degrees that backing paper. So this vinyl actually is our premium gloss red with air release. It is made by 3M. This does give a little bit of more flexibility, so it reduces the likelihood of air bubbles showing up in your application. And it will also allow you to reposition the decal slightly. It has a lower initial tack compared to some of the other vinyls we offer. So I'm going to align the top and bottom pieces as I indicated there on the rim. And I'm just lining it up the best I can. I'm paying mostly attention to where it's in the middle of the rim at the wheel cap. That's the area that once you get that aligned, usually the other parts kind of fall into place. So I'm having to readjust it a little bit. That's the nice thing with the air release. It does allow us to kind of make a little bit more adjustments as we need. Now I'm just going to apply light pressure with my hand and go over the decal and try to smooth it out. This is where you want to try to push out any air bubbles that you may have. I'm going to use my application card to go over the application tape with some moderate pressure. Don't push too hard or you might rip your application tape or damage the decal underneath. You just want enough to be able to make sure there's a good bond between that decal and the surface. Next, I'm going to take that transfer tape and pull it back at 180 degrees. Sometimes you might have to use your other finger to hold the decal down as you pull back the transfer tape. And that's perfectly normal. You can actually use a little bit of heat and actually get that decal to lay back down after you've removed that transfer tape. Be careful with the transfer tape not to let the sticky sides touch. If it kind of folds on itself and the adhesive does touch together, be very gentle pulling it apart. If you use too much pressure, it's got quite a big bond there. It can actually rip the transfer tape. But the good news is that we've actually used one piece of transfer tape for 2 rims. So we give you enough that it will last you for a while for the whole application job. Next, you're going to take your hand, or you can even use the application card with like a towel over the edge of it so it doesn't scratch it. But you're going to push all the edges down. This kind of wraps around the rest of that beveled edge of that silver piece of that rim. You can also use heat from a heat gun or hairdryer will also work. You don't want to get it too hot. You just basically want it to warm the vinyl up so it conforms to the shapes that are there. The way we made the decal, it does kind of conform and meet all of the outlines that you need for those rims. So I'm doing the inner edges here, making sure they kind of conform to everything. If I have any kind of air bubbles, which is what I'm having right here, there's a little bit of air bubbles on the edge. So I just kind of picked up on it a little bit, lifted up on the vinyl, lets the air out, and then I'm going to rub it back down. That's the nice thing with air release, is that it does allow you a little bit more flexibility with your application. After I've done the inside edge, I'm going to flip over and start doing the outside edge. So after you're done with the application tape on that first decal, I'm going to take the tape and I'm going to apply it on a decal that doesn't have transfer tape on it. So we're going to apply these for the remainder of the 4 spokes on this one particular rim. So I'm just lining up the transfer tape to the decal and I slowly lay it down. Put a little bit of pressure on it, and then you would then take your application card and go over the decal just like we did at the beginning of this video and go ahead and apply it. If you do need to reposition your transfer tape, it's simple. Just pull it back at 180 degrees, be very gentle, and the transfer tape will let go of it. Just try to do that before using the application card to get it to bond. Do the same technique to take off the backing paper. Hope that this helps. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us. Our website is www.justticketdecals.com.